Hey there, Rocketeers. Hello, hello. It is Charlie Rocket here. I got me a comic book review going on. I was definitely supposed to do this on Thursday and I did not do it. I feel really, really bad because it's Black History Month. And I said every week I was going to do a black comic character. And look at me, I'm slacking. I got like super busy and didn't end up doing it. But you know what? I'm not going to wait until next Thursday. I'm doing it now because we're going to get all the black characters in we can, okay? And also, I read the comic on time and I was waiting to do this review because it was so good. Okay, this comic, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Let me tell you, first of all, it's a little dark in here because it's the middle of the night. My children are asleep, so I may also get quiet from time to time to make sure they stay that way. Also, I'm dressed like it's the middle of the night. I went swimming, some stuff, so I'm real chill right now. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I have been waiting to read this because I actually am a pretty big fan of Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur. Not because I know a whole lot about them, but because I watched a lot of Superhero Squad with my son growing up, when he was growing up. And yeah, Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur were in there and I just loved them. So I've been a pretty big fan. So when they came out with Moon Girl, a little black girl who's like uber smart, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. So this review is going to be all about me telling you what happened in this story. I'm gonna leave like small details out to just give you a brief overview of the storyline. But there will be, you know, spoilers and stuff. But I highly suggest you actually pick up a copy and read it because the writing was amazing and the little details do make a big difference. So, moving into this, the story starts out with our darling Moon Girl. People at school call her Moon Girl, but her name is Lunella. Very nice. She's a super smart young black girl, and she is creating invention after invention to try and apply to all of these awesome big schools for smart people. She has not been accepted yet. And she's doing a secret mission she's trying to do that they keep hinting to. She wants to do something involving the Kree. We're not really sure what it is. Her invention is supposed to be helping some big problem that they keep talking about. And so it's very, what's she working on, you know? She's clearly very bored in school because she already knows everything. She's already smart enough to teach the teacher a few things, which she does a lot. She's got some awesome parents who care a lot about her, but they don't really understand her because she is beyond in regards to IQ. They're trying to see how her day is at school. She's frustrated because nobody understands her, and the parents don't really know what to do about it, you know? So she goes out one night with her Kree detector. She creates a detector that detects any Kree technology. And for those of you who don't know, you know, the Kree are going to be in Captain Marvel, and they are an alien race that can shapeshift, so they can disguise themselves as anyone, that kind of thing. So she is a Kree detector, which is a big deal. And she finds a giant orb. And so right when she finds this orb, it does like a parallel, this is what's happening in a different universe and time, you know, like this is a completely different time with dinosaurs and whatnot. These cavemen are like praising the orb. So they praise the orb and they create sacrifices to the orb. And Moon Boy comes. Side note, if you didn't know, Moon Boy is a caveman who's completely hairy and weird. It's like a giant monkey man. And he rides on Devil Dinosaur, a giant red dinosaur with flaming eyeballs. And they go to fight these weird caveman people who have been tormenting the other caveman people, and they do sacrifices to the orb and blah, blah, blah. Back to Lunella, Moon Girl. She's at school. She's excited about this orb that she found because she knows it's Kree technology, and she believes it can help her with her super secret project. While she's looking at it, a teacher confiscates it, starts twirling it around on his finger. She's begging for it back, but the twirling motion actually creates some sort of vortex. And this is actually a freaking time warp vortex thingy. So, as he's spinning it and creating this awesome, like, freaking vortex, it's sucking these cavemen in. They're like running in to run away from Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur. They actually beat the crap out of Moon Boy. Bam. And Moon Boy says to Devil Dinosaur, look, you gotta chase after them, man. I can't go on anymore. I'm probably gonna die. You gotta chase after these baddies, get the orb back, and save the day. So, of course, when Moon Girl finally gets the orb back from her teacher, these cavemen come through, and they're after her, trying to get it. And Devil Dinosaur comes. Rah! So, after that, Devil Dinosaur and her, they're running around. He's caught her, and he's protecting her. And let me tell you something. She doesn't know he's protecting her yet. You know, he's a full dinosaur. But she's not scared like at all. She's finding ways to use her inventions to control the dinosaur and direct him. They're learning how to become friends. They're learning how to use each other to the best of their abilities to both get what they want, you know? And I applaud her at not being afraid of him hardly at all. He's swinging her around for real, and she does not care. Meanwhile, the cavemen get away, but they steal a bunch of clothes so that they can kind of adapt, and they're looking crazy, and kind of hide. So Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, they end up under the bridge, kind of hide out. She's telling Devil Dinosaur, look, dude, I need this orb. I need it for a special project. Devil Dinosaur is like roaring at her because he wants the orb. She's like, nah, dude. I'm not even afraid of you. You know why? Bam. I have the gene to be an inhuman. So, if you're aware, there are a bunch of people who have a gene that means they can become inhuman. And I believe that came about because the Kree did some experiments on people. And so there was later created a Terrigen mist. It is a big mist of like green whatever that looks like cotton candy basically, and if you come in contact with it and you have the inhuman gene, then you can become an inhuman, which sometimes means you get powers, sometimes it means you become a giant monster. Some people don't make it through the mist and the transformation, so it's kind of a scary thing. Lunella tells Devil Dinosaur that she discovered herself, that she had the gene, and yeah, so she's trying to find something to reverse it or to help reverse the Terrigen mist. It's been a big problem because the Terrigen mist just comes about like in the city whenever, and people get scared and people get turned into inhumans, and so it's a big deal. She's trying to help some big problem in her community. Anywho, so she was like, so I'm not afraid of you, Mr. Dinosaur. I'm afraid of becoming an inhuman. Meanwhile, the cavemen are beating people up. They're taking over the city, trying to find Devil Dinosaur and the orb. They eventually run into Lunella and grab her up. Devil Dinosaur, comes out, attacks everybody. And it's a little back and forth throughout this book. You know, when he attacks everyone, somehow the cavemen still get away with the orb. So Lunella's mad. She's really mad at the dinosaur, you know? She gets home, her parents see it on the news, and they get mad at her for being involved in this dinosaur. They're like, look, girl, you can't be doing all this stuff, okay? And she's like, I'll do what I want. Meanwhile, while she's at school, we find out she has a secret laboratory, a giant laboratory underneath the school that she goes to. And that's where she's keeping, bam, Devil Dinosaur, right down there. While she is in the lab, some girls accidentally set the bathroom on fire. So Lunella and Devil Dinosaur escape, but then they also help her whole class escape by sliding down Devil Dinosaur. In the midst of doing that, of course, the news gets wind of this. People think the dinosaur started the fire. So guess who they call? The Hulk, okay? The Hulk comes. He's like, look, I've got to take your dinosaur in. She's like, you're not going to take my dinosaur in. And the Hulk's like, you're just a little tiny girl, so forget you. Of course, there's a huge Hulk dino fight, you know? A whole big thing. Lunella's like, I hate fights because they're not smart. It's not a smart way to handle things. So she pulls out her little gadgets and she completely, you know, turns it around. She's like punching people with her little gadget here. She's doing all kinds of stuff. The dinosaur was like, please stay out of this fight. Like, moved her out of the way. And when the dinosaur moved her, he accidentally stepped on one of her weapons, which electrocuted him. And so while he was electrocuted, the Hulk beat him up. Lunella started crying. She was super upset. She was like, dude, you're not even listening to me and the stuff that I, like, need this dinosaur to help me find this orb, okay? That's the only reason I need him. I really need to solve the issues with the Terrigen Mist. But now the Hulk's already changed back. He's like, look, girl, these issues are bigger than you. They're too big. Like, he kept saying, I'm the 8th smartest person in the world. And she had pure attitude with him, and I loved it. But then he basically told her, you're too young to be doing all this stuff. Please stay out of trouble. Her parents were called. They were like, you're not allowed to do anything anymore. He took Devil Dinosaur into custody. Her parents said, look, you got to go to and from school, and that's it. You're on full lockdown. It's bad. So she's on full lockdown. She's got to go in and out of school and go straight back home. She sneaks out one night. She's been tricking them for a while to think that she's just been really doing good in school and really been into school and focused. But she snuck out as soon as she found out where Devil Dinosaur was, which took her like 2 seconds, by the way. It's high profile stuff, and she finds it in like 2 minutes. When she goes to the place where Devil Dinosaur is, she breaks him out. She's like, we gotta find this orb. Meanwhile, the Terrigen Mist is like on the move or whatever. Also, the cavemen have started a full gang and have taken over the city. They're a gang now. They kind of learned how to use English. They're like making people pay them for protection. It's crazy. They even had a run-in with Lunella's mom, who is now super afraid of this gang because of that. Now, Lunella goes, she breaks out Devil Dinosaur. He's free. They run away together. And they go back to the bridge where I guess is a good place for them to hide out. Meanwhile, time to go to school, and Lunella's mom is like, nah, I'm walking you. The gang is like out and about. You can't deal with them. They're horrible. The gang is using the orb to try and find their next sacrifice because it's time for the sacrifice. They want to find Lunella. They're like, where's that girl who had the orb? That's what the orb is leading us to, right? So, when Lunella gets to school, her mom finds a newspaper that shows a picture of Lunella escaping with the Devil Dinosaur. Her mom was like, you are in trouble. And Lunella's like, you don't understand. None of y'all understand me. She has a full emotional breakdown. In the middle of this, the cavemen come, yank her up, okay? They're like, it's time for you to be the sacrifice. The mom starts trying to beat them up with the paper. She's not doing nothing. Lunella pulls out some of her, some of her big guns, her inventions and stuff. She's able to beat up some of them. She escapes. She like knocks one in the stomach. She doing all kinds of stuff to fight back. Her mom was like, "Oh my gosh, Lunella, I'm so glad you're okay. Let's go home." She was like, "Nah, Ma, I got stuff to do." And now, hopefully you believe me. And then I guess the mom did, because next thing you know, she with the dinosaur going to go get the orb and do what she need to do. But, like, if I was the mom, I'd be like, no, bitch. Like, like, not today. But anywho, she's on top of Devil Dinosaur. They finally meet up with these cavemen. They take the orb back. The cavemen get beat up. The cavemen eventually turn on their leader and said, "Look, it's not even worth all this stuff. Let's just leave. Let's just leave." And they're like, "Okay." Devil Dinosaur was like, "I still want to chase them." She was like, "Cool, go do it." Finally, Lunella finally has the orb. And she's like, "Great, I can finally find out how to make my invention so that I don't become inhuman." Then she looks up and she says, "Oh no." And what happens? She didn't make it in time because the Terrigen Mist. And you know what happens when the Terrigen Mist comes and you're an inhuman? You have the inhuman gene. You end up in an egg. You end up in an egg. You wait until you hatch to see what you become. And that's what happened to her. She's now in an egg. Devil Dinosaur turned around and he was sad. He didn't know what to do. Stuck her in his mouth, took her to the lab, and is waiting for her to hatch. And that is where the story ends. And I was like, oh my God. First of all, didn't know Moon Girl was an inhuman at all. Didn't know much about her other than the fact that she was super smart. There was a ton of references to other heroes, other storylines, and things that are going to mingle with this. Because the Terrigen Mist is also what turned Kamala Khan into Miss Marvel. That's why there's a huge ad for it at the end of this. Very similar situation, except for Miss Marvel began with the Terrigen Mist. And this first issue of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur ends with it. So very interesting. She already had so much going for her before having any powers or anything. I think that's amazing. I really love the artwork a lot. Art style is really pretty. I like when the art makes it easy to follow. Like, I see what's happening. I understand the flow. The art just really matches the writing. It's gorgeous. But in addition to that, I like all the extra art they put in there. This cover art right here is so cute and beautiful. This issue is actually called BFF. And so I think this completely embodies that title. But also, there's a few other really nice ones in here. If I can find them. Look at these. Amazing. Especially when he started fighting the Hulk, there were a few that were really nice. They're always right when the chapter changes, so that you can see what's coming up. Bam, that's so epic. I love it. And there's one at the end where he kind of looks more like a raptor, and she definitely looks like an older kid, but very detailed, very cool. Living for these pictures. And all throughout, you know what else it had? A lot of quotes from different people. Like, Lunella talks a lot about why being a scientist is so important to her, but there's a lot of quotes. This first quote, they're smaller and throughout the writing, but this one's really big. Humanity is leaving its childhood and moving into its adolescence as its powers infuse into a realm. This is beautiful. Beyond Our Reach, Dr. Gregory Stock. Yep. Makes sense to me. Here's another artwork. Bam. Fighting these cavemen. So I think it's just really an amazing read. Great artwork. Written by Brandon Montclair and Amy Redder. Natasha Bustos is the artist. Ugh, beautiful. Oh, Amy Redder also did the cover art. And she is one of the writers as well. That's pretty bomb.com. But anywho, I really loved it. This was a really long review because I had a lot of stuff to say. It had a lot in the story, I guess. But an awesome, awesome comic book if you want to pick it up. I loved it. I hope you enjoyed.